Greetings. Welcome to QueenElle79. This is Queen Elle, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. This is the last day of March. It's March 31st when I'm filming. And if you haven't checked out my video for the month of April, there's a very strong message there with regard to several astrological transits that will take place throughout the month of April. So please don't hesitate to access that video and check it out. So I will link that video somewhere. You'll see it shortly. So feel free to check that out. I don't really have a strong direction with regard to the message for today, but I did feel led to come on here and to send you a message of encouragement and hope. That's the word that I thought of earlier today. And I'm feeling an abundance of love. And that's something that I just wanted to exude and express to all of you out there. So I just want to dive right in. I have my cards on deck. As you know, this is my favorite deck right now. It's the Modern Witch Tarot deck. So that's what the back of the cards look like. And feel free to check out the unboxing video that I did regarding that deck. So we'll get right into the reading and the message for today, okay? So I just want to tap into what the ancestral realm as well as the spirit guides have for us today. If it looks like I shuffle really slow, it's because I do. So I'm not sure if it picks up on camera or not. I have very small hands. So, so when I shuffle, a lot of times when I'm shuffling for myself, I may split the deck in half and shuffle a half at a time. I'm really trying to maintain the integrity of the cards in this deck. So that's why I'm not doing a traditional card shuffle, if you will, like you do with playing cards. Typically it's called, I think, the casino shuffle. So that is what is most comfortable to me just from my experience with playing cards. But for these cards, for one thing, they're a bit larger than playing cards. Also, I just, again, want to maintain the integrity of the cards. I want to keep them looking sharp and fresh. And I know that they will begin to be have the appearance of being broken in from multiple readings as time goes on. But I shuffle them several times a day, and they're still looking great. So I just want to keep it that way. So I do move a bit slowly. I would say that moving slowly could possibly inhibit the possibility of a jumper card coming through, but I will say that I'm a firm believer that if there is a need for a jumper card to come out, then that jumper card will pop out whether I'm moving slowly or quickly. So that's my my belief on that. But we're going to jump right in. Please forgive the notification. I'm not sure what that was, but let's get started. Also, I may have said it in a previous video, but I do not read reversals, at least just yet. I've had a reversal come up in a reading that I did for myself, and excuse me, and I read it because I know that I do a really good job of keeping my cards upright. What is that notification? I'm sorry. Let me just take a little look, see what that could be. Oh, someone messaged me. Okay, sorry about that. But yes, so the reversals. I read a reversal before just because it was the only time that I've ever had a card show up in reverse. So I did include that in the spread that I was doing for that day, but I don't really allow room for reversals just yet. I just prefer to read cards upright. So that's just my preference. There are lots of tarot readers and people in the divinatory sector that will read reversals, but I just choose not to. So just to dive right in. So again, this message is, excuse me, it's really just to encourage everyone. And so I'm asking the ancestors to please give me the message that they want me to give to everyone today, and to tell me how I can motivate everyone today, because that is what I feel is what I'm the thing that I'm led to do the most, is to motivate others and to encourage others and inspire others. I will say specifically women, because I feel so passionate and compassionate toward women and towards the trauma that we deal with throughout our lives, from childhood and even infancy in some cases. So that's something that I feel drawn to, is to encourage women in that way, but I'm open to encourage everyone. So this message really is for everyone. So let's see. I'm just going to, what something else I like to do is I will start to pull cards until I am told to stop pulling cards. So I'm just listening for that today, and then I'll go into the cards that I pulled, okay? Okay. So I've stopped with 5 cards today. And also, if you're wondering where my Yerba Santa or my sage is, I know in my last couple of videos I had some sage, my Yerba Santa sage burning, and that actually is something that I would like to do moving forward. What I opted for today is I have these rose quartz. Well, it's lit, so you won't really be able to see it too much. See the words? Okay. But I got these candles, I believe maybe from Home Goods a while ago, a few years ago at least. And they're 2 rose quartz candles. And I love them. I love the scent. I don't like them too often, although they're over halfway burned at this point. So I really do like them. So I decided, I have 2 of them. So I decided to burn those today in lieu of my sage. I'm just feeling just a lot of love, an abundance of love. So this message I feel will be specifically regarding what I was thinking was regarding our emotions. And I'll tell you the cards that came up. So the first one is the 8 of Pentacles. The second one is the Page of Cups. And again, if you're familiar with this Modern Witch Tarot deck, there's a lot of diversity, lots of ladies in it, which I love. 6 of Wands. Knight of Cups. And I will did a little flash, I'll cover that. And this one is the Star. I pray that I wouldn't get flagged for some animated nudity, but you just never know. So anyway, the Star, and that Star card, if you're not familiar with it, it's a woman, and there's a star behind her. There are multiple stars, a large star and some smaller ones, and she's pouring from some carafes or cups of water into a stream, and that's called the Star. So just to get started, I've noticed a theme. We have 2 of the Cups cards, and so if you're not familiar with the Minor Arcana, and I know I keep promising that video, so I am going to do a video this week. I have it on my in my planner and in my journal to do my video regarding the breakdown of the tarot deck, and that's the Major and Minor Arcana. And the Major, as the title states, those are the overarching themes of our lives, where the Minor, it gets into the nitty-gritty, into the details. And the Minor Arcana, I liken that to playing cards. There are 4 suits, as with playing cards, and in the tarot deck, there are the Wands, the Cups, the Pentacles, and the Swords. And so the Cups, they typically involve your emotional state. And that is something that I feel strong about with regard to this message, is a message of hope and encouragement with regard to your emotions and how people are feeling today. So there are 2 cards from the Cups suit, and then we start with the 8 of Pentacles. Now the Pentacles, they have to do with our work, sometimes finances, sometimes just the effort that we're putting forth in doing things. And then the 6 of Wands, so that was the 3rd card. And wands typically have to do with your aspirations, your ideas, your ambition. And the cards also progress from Ace. And Ace is not necessarily low versus high, but when I've seen Ace noted in guidebooks, online, etc., the suits go from Ace and then start 1 through 10, and then they go on to the Court, which is in the tarot deck, there's not the Jack, Queen, and King that you notice from the playing cards, but it's actually the Page, Knight, Queen, and King. So anyway, like I said, I will give a thorough breakdown and actually compare 2 decks when I do that video so that you can see the difference between multiple decks of how those cards are broken down, okay? So stay tuned for that. And hit that subscribe button if if you feel that what I'm saying to you in this message today resonates with you. If you are interested in seeing, any type of message from me from this point on. I do post regularly each week. I was a bit under the weather a couple of weeks ago, so I may have had 1 video that week, but I typically post multiple videos each week, and I would like to keep up that momentum. So definitely hit the subscribe button, and also so that you can stay tuned to get a notification when you hit that notification bell regarding my tarot video. Okay, so like I was saying with the wand, so that has to do with your ambitions and your ideas. And with the cards going in progression from numbers from 1 to 10 and then on through the Court, there is a general progression as far as the intensity, as far as the evolution of that particular suit. Okay, so we'll tap into that. And then the final card is that Star card. So this card, and I'm just covering up her little crotch, I actually have no problem at all with being open and free, and I love this card, but just doing this for privacy's sake, for the sake of this video. So there's the Star, and this would be considered one of the major arcana cards because it does have an overarching theme, okay? So just to go, I believe also the order of the cards that you pull for a reading, that there is something to that. I like to look at everything overall to kind of build a foundation or lay a foundation for my message. And then I do build upon that with regard to the order of the cards. So just looking at the cards today and knowing how I felt led to give a message of hope, especially during this time right now. I feel like that's what a lot of people are lacking. I feel like there's a lot of despair going on in the world today with regard to that external noise that I've talked about before that's all around us. And some of it's necessary. You want to be informed, but it's just how you process, how you digest that information that you're being fed, because we are being fed a lot. And so a lot of it is not for our good. A lot of it does not serve us. And so it's really important to create some type of filter with your discernment to some things you will have to take with a grain of salt. Some things, you may want to make note of just for reference for later. But I would say that most of it is just filler. It's just noise. And it's important to stay grounded and to stay connected with source, with the creator, with your spirit guides, the ancestral realm, your angels, all of the above. Do your meditation daily. I strongly encourage you to do that. Journal. I've started journaling even more than I was before. I was journaling, I would say about once a day. I would make note of some things. I'm always noting the cards that I pull. But I do a daily card reading. It's on my Instagram and Facebook. So my Instagram is Queen_Elle. That's ELLE _79. And then Facebook is just QueenElle79, just like my YouTube. So I do daily card readings, typically first thing in the morning. Sometimes it's a little later in the day. And I always make note of those readings and what the message that spoke to me from the cards that I pulled for those readings. But then I also I've noticed lately in the evening, I like to recap my day and how events of the day made me feel. And then lately, I've started in the wee hours. And so I call those my wee hours journal entries. I'll make note of it like that. It's typically anywhere from maybe 12 to 2 a.m. I will just have either an epiphany about something or receive some type of message in my psyche and my intuition or my third eye, and I will make note of that as well. And then I like to look back on those, especially the next day, to think of how do I feel the next day when I wake up. Okay. Excuse me, let me take a sip of my tea. Whenever I see this red cup on film, it's so funny to me. So it looks like the typical the typical red cup, but it's actually metallic. And I mean, actually, it looks ceramic to me in person, but it is metallic, so it's like not microwave safe or anything like that. But I like it because of how large it is. I'm able to have 2 tea bags in it and fill it with my water every morning. So there's that. So anyway, to dive into this reading, like I said, and I will include a timestamp. I know that I like to always do some type of intro just to connect with you, and I feel like it's important for you to kind of get a feel for me and my personality. I feel like it makes a difference. I know that when I have just a select few YouTube individuals that or creators that I will watch their videos with regard to their messages and readings, and it's important for me to feel some type of connection to them virtually. And for the ones that I've seen where I didn't feel a connection or I thought I did, and then something happened that just rubbed me the wrong way, I'm telling you, cut out things that no longer serve you, that you feel are not in your best interest. There is nothing wrong with that. And I feel like that's a part of your self-care, is to know the difference. And when you feel some type of weird vibe, not to just brush it off and say, well, I'm overreacting, or I mean, we find a way to second guess ourselves. No, trust it. And as I'm saying this, and this could be a message to me as well. When I give you messages, it's a message I feel the ancestors are also speaking to me to speak to you, and also for me to receive it. And I receive it wholeheartedly. Thank you, ancestors. As I'm saying this, I feel, and I mentioned in one of my other videos, how I will start feeling a tingling sensation between my eyes, and that always lets me know that I'm either thinking the right thing or just letting me know that I'm on the right track. Okay, so again, diving into this, and like I said, I will have a timestamp in there because I know everyone doesn't like to hear all of the talking beforehand. They just want to get right into that message, so I will do that. So starting with the Eight of Pentacles. So like I said, the Pentacles have to do with work. It has to do with the effort that you're putting forth into something. So with regard to this message, what I'm getting from this card, and I pulled this card recently actually, what I'm getting from it today is it's okay to be focused on the work that you do, but you don't want that to be your sole focus. This will be a segue into the next card, which is the Page of Cups. This card, I actually pulled this. Let me double check. I'm almost positive I pulled this card this morning. Yes. So this was one of the cards that I actually pulled. I pulled it along with the Seven of Pentacles this morning for my card reading. So, like I said, my daily card pulls are on Instagram and Facebook. But with regard to this message in particular, the work that you have to do, either work that you have just naturally because of your employer, or because of if you're self-employed, because of the business that you do, the services you provide, or your products that you produce, I would say that it's important while you have this sense of expectancy, while you are, emotionally connected and you're feeling very passionate about the work that you do, it's really important to feel that strength, be self-confident, and when you come up with ideas with regard to your business, to go with those ideas. Don't second guess yourself. Now, while we're in that period of expectancy, either expecting some type of evolution with regard to our business, our work, um, it's important not to feel kind of stifled in this closed-in, isolated environment that we've been told to be in with the whole stay-at-home directive. You don't have to feel locked down internally just because you can't, necessarily function or move around the way that you normally would. Don't limit yourself. You're only as limited or as bound as you allow yourself to be. Feeling physically bound does not correlate to not being able to do anything. It doesn't correlate to being stifled as far as your creativity goes. Your creativity at this point is given the green light to thrive, to truly tap into it, and to literally do anything that you think of at this point. All of those ideas, I've said it before, all of the ideas that you have, the things that you thought of and just brushed off, or the things that you're thinking now because maybe you have more time and more capacity in your mind and in your world, even to actually tap into those ideas and to get those creative juices flowing. This is the time. Be confident in that. Own it, because those ideas, that is tied directly to the work that either you need to start doing, whether it's establishing a new business venture, or if it's something that you already were doing and maybe you didn't have the time to devote to it prior to now, and this is the time to do it. I'm telling you, this is the time to do it, the present time. So if you already have some type of business venture that you've already established prior to this time, this is the time to not just sit on it and to just let things go as status quo as they've been thus far. You won't see growth that way. You have to establish and initiate growth. You have to step out on faith. You have to exercise your faith. Those ideas that you have, they're not going to create themselves. They're not going to implement themselves. You have to put forth the action that's going to bring all of those efforts and all of those ideas into fruition. The dreams that you have, those are, and the things you're passionate about. Start writing them down. Create a list. I would say once you create a list, sometimes I'll write aimlessly, whether I'm journaling or just kind of free writing. This is the time that when you're doing that, things that spark your fancy, things that you think of in the middle of the night. I always talk about having a journal next to your bed. Write those things down and actually do them. Like, this is the time to do it. I'm at the point now, I will tell you, I will not say I am because I no longer claim that. I have been the biggest procrastinator throughout my life, the biggest one. And sometimes I really was limited in my resources and in what I could accomplish at that moment. But other times I limited myself. Maybe I was scared of succeeding at something that I really wanted to do. Maybe I was scared of failure with regard to something that I was really passionate about, and I didn't want to feel knocked down for something that I truly enjoyed doing. Whatever the case may be, I put off so many things, and I'm telling you this at this point in my life, I'm not doing that anymore, and I want to encourage you to do the same. So the next card, the Knight of Cups. So this again goes on with the page. This Knight of Cups, this is actually putting those passions into motion, putting them in action. And this ties with that Six of Wands. So your ambitions, your ideas, tied into what you're passionate about, your emotions, this is the time to put those thoughts into action. And I said it, if you check out my April video, like I said, the theme for that video was putting your passion into action. And I'm telling you, that's what I'm being led to talk about today. I just want to encourage you and to give you some hope. If things are feeling really really low, whether you're low on resources, low on ideas, you're feeling like a mental block with regard to your creativity, I'm telling you, do some meditating to clear your thoughts. That helps. Connect with others who are in the spiritual realm, some like-minded people. There are groups on Facebook. There are people on Instagram. There are lots of free resources that you can tap into. It's not always about paying for something. Now, there's nothing wrong with that because we all have services to provide for others. And it's really, this is the time to help support other entrepreneurs who have services, and for us to almost barter services in some instances. This is the time for that. So you'll start to see more and more of that moving forward. But with regard to, our own ambitions, if you are feeling that you don't know where to start, I always say to really think back to the things, the hobbies, the interests that you've had from childhood, the things that you used to think that you would do for free. If you just had the time to do it, you could do it all day long. I think of things like that, and I'm telling you that this is truly the time. There's no time like the present to really tap into those things. And so if you need guidance, like I said, there are resources everywhere. Watch YouTube videos. I say start from within though. So start with that meditation. That will really help connect you to the creator, connect you to the ancestral realm. But beyond that, if you want, a message right away, then I would say to search for videos online. There are so many videos and it's for free, And then on top of that, if you feel like you want a more direct personal message, then that's where you reach out to someone with regard to their services. So I have services posted on my Facebook page. Again, that's QueenElle79, spelled the same way as my YouTube channel. But there are plenty of others as well. So definitely tap into those resources if you're feeling a blockage with regard to your creativity and where to start right now, or what type of business venture should you delve into. That's a way to start, okay? Now the last card, the star. So I have had some mixed feelings about this card. I have pulled this card in the past, and it actually was making reference to almost squandering the gifts that you have. So you're like the bright star, as you can see in the background of the card. But even though Our Lady is, pardon me, you'll hear a door in a moment. Even though Our Lady is pouring water in a stream, so it's like she's giving life to the stream, she's also pouring water in grass, which is more of almost giving it away. So when you think about your gifts, and I'll be wrapping this up shortly, I apologize. It's almost like she's giving away some of the gifts that she has. Now, I look at this in a positive way. I feel like you have gifts to share with the world. You have gifts to put out there. You have gifts that the world needs right now. So whatever those products and services are, just like my goal is to encourage and empower all of you, this is the time. Share those gifts and encourage others, motivate others. Whatever your products are, those products are products that the world needs to see. So like I said, please feel free to reach out to me or anyone else. And I hope this message encourages you today, because that's all that I'm about, is encouragement. Ashe, I truly thank you for joining me today in this video, and I'll be in touch. So blessings. This is Queen Elle from QueenElle79. Have a great evening.